If you're looking for safe and reliable account grinds, make sure you hit up my boy Cliff2_3 on Twitter. Yo, what is good, YouTube? RCA the Great here with another video for you guys. And I'm making this video because I've been getting a lot of questions or DMs asking about, why I chose to create the Patreon. Am I still going to be doing YouTube and things like that? And I wanted to clear everything up, put some stuff out there that you guys might not know, put some stuff out there that a lot of content creators don't talk about, maybe shed some light for content creators to possibly use in the future, and to give you guys more of an idea of different ways to support content creators that may be on the smaller side that have been doing it for a while. So I love creating YouTube videos. I love giving out tips. I love showing you guys how to play the game in a different way, giving auction house tips, all those kind of things. I've been doing it for 4-5 years consistently, making sure that I'm active in the community just because I enjoy the game of 2K and I want to be able to share it. Now with that, the time that is spent answering DMs, answering questions, making YouTube videos, all those types of things has a cost to it in my mind. Although I do enjoy playing the game, I like making the content. The way algorithm works in YouTube sometimes doesn't always cater to the tips, the tricks, the really long tutorial style videos. So you end up often being outshined by those that can get gameplays out quicker, those that are more news or content created or content related, or people that just are able to stay home and make more content on a more frequent basis. Or if you just jumped in really early. Now, I do have a child, I do have a job, I do have other businesses and things that I am interested in. So although when I do play 2K on the side, I do other things that keeps me away from making 10, 15 videos a day, or even 5 a day. So usually I do about 1 or 2 per week. And that ends up creating a situation where I'm at 13,000 subscribers right now, which is not terrible at all. It's really not terrible. It's very great for YouTube. But in the grand scheme of things, been doing it for 5 years, in the effort that is put into the videos, I wanted to find a way to create a different avenue for myself and to find a way to build a community around supporting a content creator that spends time finding different nuances in the game that many other people don't find. Now, this game, as you guys know, is very detailed. There's a lot that goes into 2K. There's a lot that goes into my team, right? Not anybody can just pick it up and understand everything that goes into it. So there's things called expert knowledge. And I'm not going to say I am an expert, but I am one of the top people that runs different kind of plays, that finds different kind of play styles. I literally research and find different ways for you guys to be successful at the game and try to help beginners all the way up to advanced players find some kind of success and fun in the game mode. I get a lot of DMs with questions, team building things, what badge, what shoe, and sometimes I spend a lot of my time answering those questions, times that I could be spent doing other things. So that time has to be accounted for. So that's one of the reasons why I created the Patreon as well. So as we're watching some of these clips, I am getting ready to get over to some of my YouTube analytics and stuff like that from one of my videos. Explain that, talk about the Patreon, and a little bit more dive into the content style. And if you're trying to do this full time as far as for income, why it can be a detriment to some people. So let's jump into that. All right, so we currently have the man pulled up on the screen, RCA the Great. As you guys can see, let me pull it down a little bit. We are at 12.9K subscribers, which is great. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys. We've grown so much over the years. I started off just making little quick tutorials from my PS camera and uploading those, how to do jab steps and all that kind of stuff. And it has grown to having different thumbnails and all types of stuff that I didn't have before. And I'm able to put out more elaborate videos, and we are growing. As you can see, some videos have 1K, 2.5K, 1.1K, 1.2. I've had videos hit 100K based on what the video is. I've had videos go 50, 30K. So I have had some very high viewed videos as far as 2K is. Now, 2K is also a very niche market. I have other talents and other skills, but I really do enjoy 2K. So I like make videos for that. So in order to get your view count up, you either have to put out more videos or have very, very, very good editing where people are going to come to you. I don't know how Mr. Beast has 70 something million subscribers. Shout out to him. But it is not the easiest thing to do. Some people think content creation is just something that is just super easy. You get on camera, you're able to do it very fast and easy. And that's not the case. It takes a lot of creativity, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of time. So you want to be able to build your views up. You want to be able to do all that stuff, especially if you want to do it full time, because that leads to revenue from ads. Ad revenue is what's going to pretty much drive your revenue for your channel, besides unless you do some kind of affiliate marketing and other things like that. But we're just going to stick to views and ad revenue. So doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. If your videos are not being viewed, then you will not get the ad revenue to make it more worth it to sit and make another 3-hour video. Some people think people want to make 3-hour videos for fun. Yes, some people do that, and I did that to start as well. But that's 3 hours out of someone's life, where if you pick up your phone the next day and you see that it had 100 views, and you put a ton of effort into that video, it gets to a point to where, man, maybe I should be cutting this video up, or I shouldn't put that much effort into it. And there's certain times that I will start to think like that. Maybe I'm putting too much effort into this video. Maybe I'm trying too hard. And I didn't like that thought process, because I wanted to give you guys the best video that I could put out without taking any shortcuts, without doing it really quick. So you get into that standpoint where, should I put out a video really fast so it gets there first so I get more views? Or should I take my time, make it as best as possible? It's not going to get as many views, but I know it's going to be quality work. And you fall into that standpoint to where you're trying to figure out the happy medium between that. And then sometimes you're too late with a video and doesn't get the views. Boom. And now you're stuck in this conundrum, right? So now we're at 13,000 subscribers, which again is not bad at all. I will not say it's bad. But for the work that's put in and the effort, I personally feel like the subscriber count should be higher. That's just me. I mean, leave your comments down below if you think I'm wrong, but let me know. So I just wanted to get to that point. Now, scrolling down to some of my older videos, obviously you'll see fluctuation of different views and stuff. It depends on what time of year you're in, whether you're going to have high viewership, low viewership, and it also deals with consistency. I'll be one of the first people to tell you that I am not going to be the most consistent with certain things around specific times of the year. At the start of the year, I hit the ground running, and based on how I see that's going, I continue to do it or not. Some years I go throughout the full year. Some years I just stop in May because the game gets a little bit boring for me. So that's the viewer count for specific videos and stuff. I've been doing, like I said, over 4 years, been doing it. I really enjoy it. I like putting the tips and stuff out, and I'm going to be continuing to do this. This is not something that I'm looking to stop. But I'm going to continue to explain why we're taking more the Patreon route as well, so that we can compare it to the YouTube. Combine it with the YouTube. So now let's go over to some video analytics. And let's look at the video that we're actually looking at right now. This is the Mind of RCA Squad Builders 50K or less. Now look how long this video is. This is a 30-minute video. So it didn't take me 30 minutes to make. You guys watch it and it's 30 minutes, right? It took me gameplay, finding the players, getting everything set up for the actual filming of it, putting it into the actual film editor, editing it, putting the music on, making sure it's cut up properly. All that stuff's going to take you 2, 3, 4 hours, especially the way I do it, because I like to get gameplay and plays and stuff into a lot of my videos. It's going to eat up time. So let's just say 4 hours. I might be cutting it short. Let's say this video took me 4 hours to create, right? So we go over to watch time. We got 1.5K views. This video got me 5 subscribers. Dope. But estimated revenue, $14.43. Now in the real world, at your real job, if you're going to be spending time doing anything, who would do pretty much anything for 4 hours to make $14.43? There's not many people that are going to go to work for even that for 1 hour. So think about that from an income standpoint, understanding that I do enjoy the content that I create. I do it because I like it. I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to continue. I just want you guys to understand where we're coming from when we talk about these kind of things and why people choose to do things like Patreon and things like that. So let's keep moving forward with it, right? So you got $14.43 for one video that took the person 4 hours. Now, of course, you can create like 50 of these. You spend 200 hours or whatever doing it, and then you end up making more revenue from the ads. Now, that's if you care about making money from YouTube. Some people don't, some people do. But most people are going to tell you when they get monetized they would like to do YouTube and they would like to create content full time. Now, I do other things, but I would love to create 2K content full time. It would be amazing for me. So now let's jump into the Patreon and why I chose to make the Patreon and talk a little bit about that. All right, so we are currently over at my Patreon page. And the first thing I want to talk about is, what is even a Patreon? Like, what is it? A lot of people ask that question. And Patreon is pretty much a subscription-based model for you guys to be able to support a content creator or a creative, someone that you really enjoy their work and they're putting in effort in doing something that you like. It's a way for you to subscribe to different tiers, and each tier has different rewards that will allow you to interact with that creator in a different way, or that creative in a different way. And I actually got the idea from my guy, Coach Voss. Shout out to Coach Voss on Twitter. He's a defensive coordinator, but he's a very good football coach. And he has a Patreon, but he also has a Discord where he's talking to a bunch of different football coaches. They're asking him questions about defense and all that stuff. Now, of course, they can look that stuff up on YouTube, but he has expert knowledge in that field. He's able to give them different tips. They're able to bounce ideas off of each other. He actually coaches in real life, so he's able to give them different ideas from his standpoint. And he has a podcast that he gives them specific access to and stuff as part of his tier. So that's how he uses it. I see different people in the Madden community using it in different ways, but I did not see many people in the 2K community using it. And I said, you know what? I get asked these questions all the time anyway, and I answer them all day. Why don't I create a Patreon where I have different tiers that allow me to then focus more on those specific people that are supporting me in this way, and I can give them first dibs at those answers, at early videos, at strategies, at tips, at team reviews, all the stuff that I'm doing already and I'm still going to do, but do it here first, because these are the people that are supporting in this way, and then we can go and finish up what we were doing before. And that just makes more sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you as well, based on what we just explained earlier, because the time that is spent, literally hundreds and hundreds of DMs. Now, I'm still going to do the weekly team reviews and stuff into your team, into Twitter. That's cool. I'm just going to do that, put it up on YouTube and stuff. But right after I would do those videos, I would have 40 more messages in my inbox asking me to review your team. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I can answer them here and there. But if I spend my time answering all 40 of those, that's a lot of time taken when the YouTube video was just put out. So it comes a battle of back and forth, back and forth. How much time do you actually spend on it? Now, the tier and the Patreon, I'm going to just go answer those first quickly, because that's somebody that's supporting me in this way financially, and it's going to make sense. And now we're just being straightforward here. If you spend 7 hours answering DMs on Twitter about team reviews, and you already just did a video for it, you either have nothing else going on, or you just, I don't even know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. There's not many people that are going to even answer the DMs in the first place. And I try to answer as many of them as possible. And sometimes it just got to the point where it was just too much. So creating the Patreon, we move over here. We got the Ruby tier. If you're in Ruby tier, you got team ratings, team makeovers and lineup suggestions, badge advice suggestions. Just shoot me a message or just put it in the chat. We got a full Discord with everybody talking back and forth about badges and stuff like that. It's a community of people just sharing ideas about the same stuff, and we're able to communicate it about it that way. And I think that is a good way to do it. Now, of course, you don't have to subscribe. I'm still going to put my videos out. I'm still going to be able to answer certain stuff on the Twitter timeline, but I'm not going to do it all day, and it's going to be at specific times. You know what I mean? It just makes sense to have time to yourself where you're not answering stuff all the time, and then time where you're actually just interacting with people and doing that. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So we got the Emmy tier, Diamond tier, Pink Diamond tier, Galaxy Opal tier. Galaxy Opal tier is just pretty much my fitness stuff. I didn't even expect anybody to even go towards that. But we do have a lot of patrons in the Diamond tier. That's defensive settings, always updating on how to, defend different things in different ways. Tips towards stopping different styles of play, offensive tips, scoring, dribbling tips, tutorials. And then a lot of the stuff is early access. All my new tip videos and stuff are going to be early access for the Patreon, which is probably like 12 hours, maybe even 24 hours. And then I'm still going to be putting it out on YouTube. So still going to be some of the similar content. But Patreon does get exclusive content like Money Plays of the Week, only posted in the Patreon. Flyers with quick tips and stuff on it that are only posted in the Patreon. There's going to be specific streams that are only Patreon related streams. So it's just going to be a synergy between both. I'm still going to be making the YouTube content that I've been making since day one, but I'm going to focus a lot of my exclusive content on the Patreon. Based on whatever tier you're in, there will be exclusive content going towards that. And I'm always looking for suggestions on how to make things better, what tips to give out, and I can add people to the team and things like that, but that's for another day. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. And it's something new for me. I'm always looking to figure out how to grow, how to make it better, but it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. You can search Patreon and you will see tons of different patrons for FIFA, for Madden, for all types of communities, for singers, for songwriters, for artists, all kind of stuff. So it's not something that's just brand new. It is just something that I'm diving into to see how it goes. Hopefully you guys choose to join me here. I would appreciate having you over at the Patreon. RC the Great, hit me up. At the end of this video, we are going to have a rolling credits of everybody that has joined my Patreon, because that is part of your gold tier. You get your name or social ID in the credit of my YouTube videos. So without further ado, let's roll the credits. I appreciate all of you guys that have come over to the Patreon. Thank you so much. You make content creation alive for me. Again, I can give you guys exclusive content. We're talking in the Discord all day, and I'm able to share the tips that I've already been sharing, and I do it with more motivation now. So thank you guys once again. I appreciate it, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace.